This week, I'm talking all about the PS5 Revision and this whole mess going on with Horizon Forbidden West. So let's just go ahead, together, as a people, and check it out! And welcome to another sensational Sunday. I'm Mike, and this week, it's a Sony extravaganza, so we got a couple things from Sony that I really want to talk about. And the first thing, before we get into the whole Horizon mess, is about the PlayStation 5. So it was mentioned a few months ago, I believe, I know I covered it, that there might be a PS5 revision coming along. And a revision is just like a minor hardware change that you're not really going to notice. Like if you buy a PS5 off the shelf, you're probably not going to notice that it's the new version of the PS5. But there is a new version of the PS5 that's out that's 0.6 pounds lighter, and that's because basically they went ahead and shrunk the heatsink down. So Austin Evans apparently did a video about this. I read the Ars Technica article about them breaking down the video, so I'm all up in this like metaverse. I'm Inception. I'm in the article inside the video that's breaking down the news about the revision. I'm just in this universe right now. That's where my head is. From what the article that I read says, it's probably going to be more efficient than the heatsink they have now. One of the things that they've emphasized in this beta for the SSD upgrade is to make sure you put a heatsink up there. So obviously Sony is very concerned about the system overheating, and even adding an SSD might put off too much heat. So I know that's something they've been concerned about, and the rumor is that's why they haven't officially rolled out this upgrade, or not upgrade, but the upgrade in order to let you upgrade your SSD. They haven't rolled it out officially yet because they've been working on making sure that their fan profiles are right so the system doesn't overheat. So this revision is probably to deal with that problem. And we've seen similar stuff, like a lot of people said that the launch PlayStation 4 Pro was really loud and then the revision was really quiet. So we've seen stuff like this before. It just happens with consoles. So yeah, there's a new PS5 on the horizon, if you can even get one. I think at this point, if you can get any PS5, you're probably gonna be happy with it. You're like, you know what? I don't even care which revision it is. I'm just happy that I finally got my hands on it. But you know what people might not be so happy to get their hands on? Horizon Forbidden West, if you're on the PS4, because Sony is doing something stupid. Now, Sony has this whole thing where sometimes, I don't know what they're doing. Like, I love the PS5. I like PlayStation. I like all the consoles, honestly. And each company has their faults. But Sony, sometimes they just don't know how to read the room. And Microsoft has also been guilty of this, like when they tried to raise Xbox Live prices that time. And yeah, they just missed the mark and don't know how to read the room sometimes. And this is one of those cases. So to go back a few weeks ago, they announced that Horizon Forbidden West was already going to be delayed until February of next year, which is fine. I'm a little bit more lenient on developers for having to delay projects, considering everything that happened last year, like with, you know, the world basically being shut down for a period of time. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of games that are impacted by that, and we have seen a lot of games that are impacted by that. So I'm not getting mad about delays. Like, there's really not much that they can do to get this game out on time. You know, if they had something planned for 2021, 2020 just went ahead and just wiped all that out. But obviously, people are going to be disappointed because they were expecting to be able to play the game this year. So you already had to disappoint fans with the game being delayed. And then on top of that, they basically came out and said, look, if you buy the base PS4 or PS5 version, you just get that version of the game. So if you buy the $60 PS4 version, there's no upgrade path to the PS5 version. And if you buy the PS5 version, you don't get the PS4 version, which obviously that's not as big of a deal unless you wanted to play it on your PS4 if you have both the PS4 and PS5. But the big deal really is there's no upgrade path if you buy the standard edition of the game on PS4 to PS5. And this is extra bad because on top of the game being delayed and them just announcing that, it's just still difficult to find a PS5. And I'm sure by February, maybe it'll be a little bit better, but who knows? Like, it might be hard to find a PS5 still. So like someone who really wants to buy a PS5 and wants to buy the PS5 version and wants to play it, but literally can't get a PS5, are they just gonna spend the extra money to get the dual version of the game? I guess that's the only option that you have, because if you buy the PS5 version, you don't get the PS4 version, so now you can pay $70 and get the PS4 version. You have to spend $80 right now, basically. The digital deluxe edition for $80 comes with both versions of the game. Like, I get what they're doing, but it's really dumb. The Gadget article points out that they mentioned before in a blog post that they're going to do a free upgrade for this game. This was back in September of last year. So This whole thing is kind of weird, but they're trying to honor the free upgrade by offering this $80 one that comes with both, which is not really honoring it. If we go back to that blog post around September, before the consoles launched, there was still like some kind of, not really confusion, but a final decision hadn't been made about the $60 versus $70 thing. Like, we saw some games, you know, go up for pre-order that were $70, but that wasn't a firm decision yet. And if games hadn't gone up to $70 on the current gen consoles, which, you know, some people are still going to say next gen, I'm just calling the PS5 and Xbox current. If the price hadn't gone up to $70 on the current gen consoles, maybe this wouldn't be as big of an issue, but right now, people still expect to pay $60 on PS4 and then $70 on PS5. So they wanted to charge $10 more for the PS5 version, but I don't think they want people with the PS5 to be able to save $10 if they bought the PS4 version. So this was their ultimate solution to that. I mean, I guess technically you can play the PS4 version in a PS5, but it's still going to be the PS4 version of the game, so you won't get like the enhanced graphics and fast load times and all that stuff. You'll literally just be playing the PS4 version. Ultimately, the best thing for them to do would just be to bite the bullet and sell the game on both systems for either $60 or $70. Preferably just charge $60, because people on PS4 are not going to want to pay $70 for a game just because it's $70 on the PS5. Breaking news, breaking news. Oh, you weren't supposed to cut to the video that soon. I was making the sound effect. So yes, while I was editing this video, it's actually 9 a.m. on Sunday. So who knows what time this video is going to go up, but I noticed that the story got updated. So I didn't want to leave the end of this video with old information. I didn't have time to do my whole setup that I normally do with the green screen and stuff, but it's fine. So basically what's happened now is Sony has backpedaled on the whole thing, which I kind of figured was going to happen. I don't understand why these companies make bad decisions and then they're shocked when like there's backlash about it. So basically after the backlash, they've decided to go ahead and offer a free upgrade from the PS4 to the PS5 version of the game, like they initially promised. And they said going forward that there would be a $10 upgrade from PS4 to PS5. So they had to backpedal somewhat on their original promise from September of last year, where they said that they were going to be doing free upgrades on a lot of these games. But yeah, ultimately for Horizon, it was the right decision. It's just, why do you have to go through all this to reach that ultimate conclusion? Now, I did leave the first part of this video as is, because I do think it's important to talk about why they got to this decision in the first place, like what led them to this bad decision, the initial decision that they made before they changed their mind. So that first part of the video, I still feel like is very relevant. I just cut the last part of the video with the conclusion, because now, obviously, now that it's changed, I don't want to put out information that's outdated and I had a chance to fix it. So I apologize that this video is a little bit later than normal. I usually shoot for 10 a.m. on Sundays, but yeah. But ultimately, like I was saying, it's on Sony to bite the bullet. And do I feel bad that they're biting the bullet and losing $10 on the PS5 version, potentially, if someone just buys the PS4 version? No, I don't, because they really put themselves in the situation in the first place. I think that that's just what they should have done to begin with. On top of that, if Sony hadn't changed their decision, that says to developers like, oh, we can do a $100 deluxe edition that comes with both versions of the game. If not, then you just get the PS4 version and you can't upgrade. Like, I just don't think that they were on a good path, especially during this period where it's going to be a longer transition because of everything that's happened last year. Ultimately, it's good they changed their mind. It's just annoying that it always has to get to this point where it's like everyone's mad, and then finally they're like, oh, everybody's mad, we need to fix this. It shouldn't even got to this point in the first place. Hopefully this is a learning experience, not just for Sony, but for any developers that are planning on doing cross-gen games, that this is not the best way to approach the upgrade path. Not saying that there's not value in the work that they're doing to make a PS5 version versus a PS4 version. That does take more work. So it does make sense that it costs more money, but give people a path to upgrade. Like, don't lock them into the previous gen version and make them rebuy a game for $70. That's literally $130 if you're buying both versions of the game. So that's it for this video. As far as them charging $10 for games going forward, that's fine, because that makes up the price difference. Realistically, they should have just got out ahead of this whole thing to begin with and not even ran into this issue. But that's it. Let me know what you think. And I'm bringing this video to a conclusion and cutting back to the green screen, so it's gonna look a little awkward. But if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to get notified, because I drop videos every Wednesday and Sundays are always sensational. But until the next video, make sure to do at least two things at the same time.